Today, we are here at this event organized by the Marmara Union of Municipalities, Marmara Urban Forum, the second day. Here we are at the Emirgan 2 hall, and we are going to tackle a very important topic with some very esteemed guests, people who have excelled at what they do. We have some directors general joining us for this session. We will be talking about infrastructure problems and solutions in the cities of the future. Now, the Marmara region has a couple of large cities, and the largest cities in Turkey are actually located here. So we employ advanced technology. We engage in serious planning in terms of infrastructure. We really do have a series of important undertakings going on in Marmara, and our guest speakers are going to brief us about what they do. And we are also going to hopefully learn from them and ask a couple of questions to them. This session will take 90 minutes, and within the course of these 90 minutes, each speaker will have 12, or let's make that 15 minutes each. And finally, at the end of our session, we are going to receive your questions. Now, we have 5 guests in our session, 5 speakers, and 4 of them are here. They made it. So I'd like to say welcome to them. One of our guest speakers is yet missing, and hopefully they will be joining us shortly. So, I believe that in your phones there's the Maruf app. If not, please download it on your smartphones, this Maruf app, because that app will help you send in questions, and I will be able to use my tablet to see your questions. At the end of the session, I will relate these questions to our speakers. Like I said, every speaker will have 15 minutes. Actually, it's 12 minutes, but I'll give 3 minutes extra. And we are going to listen to our speakers in this order, in the seating order. We had an opportunity to get together before this session, and we decided that we follow the seating order. Now, with your permission, I am going to introduce our first speaker. Sağlık is his name. Sağlık is with Kocaeli Metropolitan Municipality, head of the waterworks. In '87, he graduated from Uludağ University School of Economics, and he then pursued his graduate studies on economics and banking in the same university. And then in '05, he started working at Turkish Waterworks Institute, accrual and invoicing department, head of İzmit department, head of Sewerage and enterprises, deputy director. These are some of the posts that he has taken up, and right now he is the Director General of the Waterworks Institute or Enterprise in İzmit. Now, with your permission, I'd like to head over the mic to Ali Bey. Our speakers can speak while seated or take to the rostrum if they please. Dear Chair. Dear Chair, dear guests, First of all, allow me to greet you all with my deepest regards. As Waterworks Directorate of Kocaeli Metropolitan Municipality, we focus on things like how we can increase the quality of our life, quality of life of our citizens, and improve our services. Allow me to give you some examples. Kocaeli is the capital of industry in Turkey, and there's a very heavy concentration of industrialization. We span over, or our services are rendered over 3,500 square kilometers, 9,000 square kilometers potable water, 5,700 kilometers of sewage, and 635 kilometers of rainwater. Right now, we have 13 treatment plants, and we have 22 sewage plants that are operational in İzmit. Let's take a look at our subscribers. In the run-up to 2019, from 05, we see that the number of our subscribers in the last 15 years has increased by 49%. The number of our employees are also indicated on the screen. Despite the increase in the number of our subscribers, we had to reduce the number of our employees. But we believe that it's all about working efficiently and employing high tech in order to maintain our services and increase the quality of our services. Now, this is a comparison between 09 and 019 in 30 metropolitan municipalities. The Turkish average is 3 people per subscriber. No, that's per 1,000 subscriber. In our organization, it is 2 people per 1,000 subscribers. We realized our budget in 018 and in 019 as well. We are hoping to break even in terms of incomings and outgoings, and it looks like we are on the right track to achieve this by the end of this year. Now, this session or this forum is mainly about smart cities. So let's talk about smart water management and what we understand from integrated smart water management. I will focus on 4 chapters. I will first of all focus on potable water, then sewage water, and then energy management, and then subscriber management. In terms of potable water management, in Kocaeli we have 245 million cubic meters of water that are in our deposits, and we also cooperate with the State Waterworks organization, and there are dam constructions that are underway, and also with Sakarya municipality, the Ballıkaya dam is being constructed as we speak. But actually the constructions have come to an end, and transmission lines and treatment plants are being constructed. Once these are over, Kocaeli will have 355 million cubic meters of water in 5 years. What this means is, under normal circumstances, Kocaeli will not need want for water for 100 years, bearing in mind the total amount we provide every year. Yes, we have water, but it is also equally as important to efficiently use this water, and that's why we need to be careful about leakages and irregular use. We have set some principles, and we adhere to these principles in our work. Now, potable water networks are living creatures. If you do not check them or control them, they start to control you. Now, İSKİ, our organization, between 04 and 019, produced 5,732 kilometers of new potable water lines. While we were doing that, of course, we looked at the pressure of the network, the hydraulics of the network, and we really cared about using the right types of pipes. When we identify the types of pipes, we look at pressure, hydraulic capacity of the system, the structure of the ground, and the movement of the pipes. In terms of failures and breakdowns, we analyze these and we assess these analyses. That's very important for us because if you are not managing, is it you managing the network, or is it the foreman managing the networks? Usually there's always a foreman who knows where the valve is, where the other components are, and we need to get rid of this situation. Now, in order to meet the increasing demand, in order to increase efficiency and reduce waste and raise awareness, we need to do more. We need to shift to efficient systems, and we also need to focus on recycling. In many different instances, instead of getting additional resources of water, increasing water use efficiency should have a higher priority. In line with these principles, in 2014, we launched an app, a software that focuses on potable water efficiency. When we embarked on this journey, in the center, the waste ratio was 46% in the town center. We set ourselves a target, and we decided to make sure that the waste rate would be reduced all the way down to 25%. That has helped us save 10 million cubic meters of water per annum. Now, in this management system, here's what we have. There's a central control screen, and we can also identify breakdowns and failures, and with hydraulic modeling, we can adjust the optimal hydraulics. We're talking about 925 kilometers of pipelines here, and with this network, we cater to the needs of 150,000 subscribers, and there are 71 isolated regions or districts, sub-districts in İzmit. In this management system, on the dashboard you see updated information pertaining to all our subscribers in İzmit. And in addition to this, there are 4 other additional pieces of software. One is about changing of the pipes, a prioritization software. The second is hydraulic modeling, followed by asset management. And finally, we have the potable water information management system that I just showed you. Now, all these pieces of software are functional and very much in use. Let's skip asset management. Now, in the potable water information management system, here's what we have seen. In 2014, the waste rate was 46%. As of the end of July, once this project has been concluded, actually we concluded it at the end of August, but we have the latest figures from July, and the waste rate has gone down to 25%, like I said previously. And also, we thought that we would save 10 million cubic meters of water, and over the course of these 4 years, we actually saved 30 million cubic meters of water. And also, we will continue to work on these areas in the sub-districts, and in 2004, the waste rate was 72%. And come 2019, we have actually achieved 30% for the entirety of the city of İzmit. Yet another technological implementation is non-excavation technology. This is what we also call closed surgery. You only drill a hole, you use pressured water, you clean the line, the pipe, and you save time. And this system we use for potable water as well as our sewage network. Yet another implementation, cathodic protection system. This is very important for us. This is to make sure that our steel pipes are not negatively impacted by corrosion. we use the SCADA system to monitor this network. Yet another project is the Geographical Information System for waterworks organizations. This is of great importance. Now, 95% of the waterworks network is included in this system, and on our tablets we can track everything and we can manage the entire system. The software of our system was done by our own staff, and we have been awarded a municipal award by the Marmara Union of Municipalities. Now, yet another important initiative is the SCADA system in potable water. We have 211 storage units, 106 management units, and 12 potable water treatment plants, and we can track these all on our dashboards. Now, I will talk about wastewater management. Now, we do sewage treatment. We have reached 100% in terms of sewage treatment for the entirety of the city. We have 22 plants, like I said, sewage plants that are functional, and also we use the SCADA system in sewage water, and we have 55 auxiliary units, 12 rainwater units, 16 water treatment centers, 30 sewage collector lines, 7 rainwater collector lines, and 30 industrial output values can be seen online thanks to this system. In order to reduce water stress, we have organized something else to recycle water, and we have a 48 million capacity per year, and industrially, especially Tüpraş is quite enthusiastic about this. 12 million cubic meters of water are given to the industry, recycled water, and this is 1/3 of the water that we use in our industrial activities in İzmit. We also have blue flag designated beaches. We have 6 such beaches in total. Yet another smart management system is about energy management. As İSU, we have HES, and BES projects that are underway, and right now, per annum, we achieve 18%. That's the renewable energy that we use. We have biomass, we have solar energy, and also in the next 5 years we are hoping to increase this up to 33% in energy generation. And we have a smartphone app, İSU Mobile, like I said, and we have a management system for high consumption subscribers, and I guess this is very important. This is 34% of all the accruals. The number of subscribers, or the percentage, is actually 3 per mil, but they make up 34% of the overall consumption. In order to raise awareness, we organize symposia, and we organize seminars, and we liaise with non-governmental organizations and target schools. And this is one final slide that I'd like to share with you. Between 2004 and 2019, in our potable water networks, 36%, and in collector lines, 66%, rainwater lines, 87%, were renewed, and rehabilitation of rivers was 86 kilometers in total, and we have invested more than 2.3 billion Turkish lira. Thank you.
Seri oldu ama zamanımı da aştım, özür dilerim hocam.
And sorry for exceeding my time. Microphone, please. The microphone is off. Yes, Today's main topic is the future cities. Our infrastructure organizations are supplying and distributing water with conventional systems for years. I personally served at the metropolitan municipality as well. So our speaker is my colleague. But now we are talking about the digital world, the future cities, the virtual world, technological developments, artificial intelligence. So all these things have really changed all the tools and instruments that we are using, and our institutions are now adapting themselves to such changes. So we are really proud to see that the Kocaeli municipality is, when it comes to drinking water systems, subscription management, etc., very good digital system. So I think you have been a metropolitan municipality only very recently, right? Yes, back in 2014. So Tekirdağ municipality used to be a regular city municipality. All of a sudden it became a metropolitan municipality. And now they are responsible of a vast area. They are trying to provide services to the subscribers. They are trying to supply water. Doing all these things all of a sudden is very difficult. You need time, you need money, and you need qualified staff as well. But you have done a great job. You have created this huge infrastructure network. You started to install SCADA systems, then GRS systems have been established, and of course the population increase is a big problem in this area. It's sometimes difficult to cope with all these challenges, but I do believe that in the coming years, with this experience and know-how, you'll be able to solve all the problems. Thank you very much once again, Mr. Ibrahim. Now let's hear from the representative of Istanbul, the giant in our country. The Director General of İSKİ is here, the Istanbul Water and Sewage Agency. Istanbul is a leading city. I don't want to offend the other municipalities, but the municipality of Istanbul has always been a role model for all the other cities and municipalities. There is this transfer of know-how, technology, people, systems. There is such a broad base of experience and information. And Mr. Raif Mermutlu is the head of this vast organization. I will read his CV. It's a little bit long, but let me read it out. In 1961, he was born in Elazığ. He completed his secondary education in Elazığ, and he graduated from Environmental Engineering Department of Istanbul Technical University. And after his graduate studies, he started to work at İller Bank. Under the headquarters, he worked for 11 years, and he was involved in different drinking water projects around the country, wastewater treatment projects, tenders. He was responsible of progress payments, and to solve the water problem of Istanbul, he started working at İSKİ as water construction department head, and he has been involved in many major projects to solve the water problem of Istanbul, some of which are the Princess Islands underwater pipe construction to bring water to the islands. Ömerli-Çamlıca main pipeline was constructed during his term. Main water storage areas in Ömerli, and a modern treatment center was constructed in Ömerli. In 1997, he was appointed as the head of wastewater treatment department at İSKİ. Yenikapı, Balta Limanı, Ataköy, Üsküdar wastewater treatment projects were under his supervision during that time. In the same period, he cooperated with the Berlin Water and Sewage Agency so that the İSKİ staff would be trained in Germany to increase the standards to EU standards. He was head of treatment department in Ömerli, Küçükçekmece, İkitelli treatment facilities. He was responsible of water quality labs, and he was also the head of that department, during which the department was equipped with the best available technologies in the world to increase the quality of treatment in Istanbul, and for wastewater, for drinking water treatment for the first time ever in Istanbul, active carbon was started to use and the quality of water increased. He was appointed as Deputy General Director, head responsible of investors and infrastructures, collectors, tunnel construction, wastewater network, distribution centers. Investments, planning and construction was his responsibility. In 2004, he became the Deputy General Manager at İSKİ, responsible of enterprises between 2004-2010. He was involved in İSKİ activities and he was the head of wastewater treatment around the city. He made sure that the agency ran smoothly. In 2014, he retired at his own will and he started to work again. This is my 4th week. So he's now the most recent General Director. Congratulations. Distinguished Chair, distinguished Director Generals, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to greet you all with respect. The Chair, I would like to thank you, the Chair, for inviting us. My CV is kind of too long. I didn't see it. I think my colleagues have written every single activity that I was involved in throughout these years. Of course, after a break of 9 years, I'm back at my institution. This is my 4th week. That's why I don't have full grasp of all the recent activities going on. It's a huge agency, as you know, and things have changed a lot in the last 9 years. So I need to work hard first to update my information, and then I will start working with my projects. İSKİ, as you have said, is very important. Istanbul is the biggest city in Turkey, and İSKİ is the biggest such agency in Turkey. And even the water management law is called as the İSKİ law. I think you didn't start my timer. Well, how are we going to do with the timing? Yes, we are giving you extra time. As all my colleagues also know, the main topic of this session is the problems of infrastructure agencies. Of course, number one challenge is to reduce the loss and leakages. The second one is the treatment facilities. In the last 20 years, we have constructed these. Before, we didn't have water treatment facilities. We are just recently developing them. Now we have biological treatment after pre-treatment, so we now have this problem of sludge. How are we going to dispose sludge? And then energy expenditures. As of yesterday, we have a price increase of 15% in energy, which is also affecting us. A fourth challenge is the protection of basins. This is watersheds. This is a big issue in Istanbul, and also the odor and taste control in drinking water, which is something I really believe is important. We are supplying water to Istanbul, a city of 16 million people. There should be no odor in the water you are supplying. There should be certain standards, which we are providing, but in terms of taste and odor control, I don't think there is any standard yet. That's why people don't want to drink that water because of its taste. So our number one priority is currently to make sure that people of Istanbul will drink that water. We are confident in our water, but the water we have is not at the desired quality. So we need to get rid of these problems first. Especially the money people spending on bottled water is now huge. It's affecting people's budgets. You see some figures about our institution. We were established with the law number 2560 back in 1981. Since then, we have been constantly serving our people. On average, we are supplying 3 million cubic meters of water per day to the city. We have 21 drinking water treatment facilities. We are serving a population of about 15 million people. I think tourists and refugees are not included in this figure. So if you add them, I think it will reach 17 or 18 million people that we are serving. You see the figures on the slide, so I won't repeat them to save time. We have 89 different wastewater treatment facilities, 22,000 kilometers of drinking water transmission line, Is it me, or is there a problem with this clicker? Of course, most recently we also had to dig tunnels just like other sewage institutions. We can't do it from the surface. We dig the tunnels under the ground so it doesn't disturb the residents. So we have this wastewater tunnel of 201 kilometers in total. We have rehabilitated 533 kilometers of creeks, and creek rehabilitation is done in a landscape manner. Most recently, we not only rehabilitate the creek, but we also create a nice landscape around it where the residents can come and sit and spend time. The seawater quality is very important for us, especially during summer. We constantly take samples from the seawater and we inspect the water quality at the beaches. Just like the other water agencies or administrations, water recovery is important for us. We don't have the luxury to use water once anymore. We have to use and reuse it again and again. So the recovered water here is used for irrigation or in relevant industries. We have this purple network, as we call it, that was established. The industries that wish to get this water are provided with this water, and we also use it for the irrigation of green areas in the coastal zone. Yes, I've talked about the fact that sludge is becoming a problem as the number of wastewater treatment facilities increase. We have been using filters to get rid of the sludge. But in the sludge management master plan, we are now planning to generate energy out of sludge because we have a huge amount, 1055 tons of sludge created on a daily basis. We need to dispose that without damaging the environment. Sustainable energy is also a topic on the global agenda. We want to generate energy and use it in our facilities. We had already a SCADA system that we have been using for years, which was a very old one. And only information about drinking water was conveyed there. Now at Kağıthane, at the huge new building, we have a new command center. Sütcom is the name. Not only drinking water, but wastewater, seawater. These also will be monitored, including industrial wastewater. So from the SCADA center, we will be able to see all the systems. We have more than 16 million subscribers. We are preparing the water and wastewater master plans. Well, this was a 4-year period. 1 year has gone by. We now have 3 more years. We want to reduce it to 2 years actually. The master plan will show us what to do in the future. Basin protection or watershed protection is a big problem in Istanbul. Maybe it's not such a big problem in other cities, but we have expropriated 76% of this because you need to control the water at source, and important amounts of money is invested in this. You know how much land costs in Istanbul, so we have been able to expropriate 76% of this. Our service area is 5,461 square kilometers, drinking water infrastructure 22,000 kilometers, wastewater infrastructure 17,000 kilometers, number of subscribers is 6 million, and we have 3 million cubic meters of daily water consumption in the city. Mr. Chair, I think I concluded abiding by my timeline, so thank you very much for your patience.
Sayın Genel Müdürüm. Tabii kısa bir özet yapmış oldu Sayın Genel.
Yes, this was a brief summary. We know that İSKİ, each and every department actually could well be hosted here, and they could tell us about their technologies, about their projects. It would take hours. So it's quite a large organization. So thank you for this snapshot. Thank you very much indeed. Like I said previously, İSKİ is a great model for all our metropolitan municipalities. So, thank you once again. Now, unfortunately, one of our guests couldn't make it to the panel due to poor health. And we have 15 minutes for Q&A. I have this tablet in front of me, but so far I'm not seeing anything.
Evet. Tamam. Evet, şu ana kadar şey yok. Eğer bu çalıştıramayacaksak
So if this is not going to work, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Please raise your hand and ask your question into the microphone. But with your permission, perhaps I should start the Q&A. Bursa, Kocaeli, they don't have any water problems. The gentleman said 100 years, we're sorted for 100 years. Bursa as well. Tekirdağ is a bit more problematic. You mainly rely on wells, don't you?
Biz ağırlıklı
Well, yes, we do rely on wells. We have 410 wells that are operational at the moment. And we also use electricity, and this increases our costs tremendously. 85% is extracted from the underground, the remaining from the dams. So what we want is we want the building of our dams. We have raised this time and time again, and I wanted to use this opportunity, this platform as well, to raise the same thing. Now, we have a small solar energy facility, but we have fertile soil, and it's very difficult to get the permission for that. I mean, the wheat average is 200 in Turkey, whereas in our region it's much higher than that. So it's an agricultural area, and it's very difficult to get these permits to build renewable energy facilities, but 5 wind energy sites have been approved by the provincial bank, and hopefully we will get this constructed. Our energy consumption for every unit right now, proportionately, I mean, we've had a lot of increase in electricity, and that puts us in a very difficult situation. So, these are huge numbers, and our costs are going up. 90 million per year, yes, that's 90 million per year, and that's a huge amount of money for us. On average, I mean, 110 million kilowatt is our expenditure, and I see that 110 million kilowatt electricity is where we're at right now, 90 million. Yes. In the regular precipitation cycle, there is no problem. And of course, we have some dry seasons. Every 7 years, we get minimal precipitation. And around those times, in order to not to experience problems, we take certain measures. We get water from several different alternative regulators, and we do our best not to waste even 1 liter. So as per this program, we're doing fine, but also the State Water Works organization built the Menem Dam, and hopefully this will be handed over to us soon, and hopefully this is going to help us sleep in peace. Microphone, please. This question, is this question for all? Who is this directed towards? So let's begin with you, Ali Bey. About the efficient use of water, what are your expectations from the public? In in terms of efficient use of water. What do we understand from efficient use of water? What we understand actually is using water as much as we need it, not more. As Turkey, we are not a water-rich country. Our water resources are limited, and we need to make the best use of our water resources, especially treated water until it comes to the cities. There's chlorination, we use pumps, and we use several different methods. It's quite a costly thing for this water to get to the cities, get to the villages. That's why we need to be super careful, especially watering the garden, watering the lawns is problematic for us, as was previously mentioned. In the summer, especially in villages, there's an excessive use of water. People want to water their gardens, and in villages and newly established neighborhoods, water prices are reduced. 90 cents, 1 lira. I mean, they use this water to water cornfields, and they say they're subscribers and they pay for it albeit at a reduced rate. So I think in terms of watering the gardens, we need to convince people, we need to raise awareness. That's number one. And number two, in terms of water savings at schools, we give trainings to our kids, and we sometimes have like plays, theater plays. We work with NGOs to reach out to primary school and secondary school students, and we try to raise awareness with children in terms of how to use water efficiently. Like when you're shaving, when you're brushing your teeth, you should be careful about the water that's running. And also we need to be careful about the leakage. So about this, the new generations must be targeted, and we have received a lot of great feedback. Children go and teach it at home to their mothers, to their fathers, and so on and so forth. Thank you. Now we have more questions coming up very quickly. Let's deal with them one by one. Here's this question. İstanbul and Tekirdağ, is there a cooperation between the two cities? These two are two directors general of İSKİ, and the Tekirdağ Waterworks organization could perhaps answer this question. Yes, we do always knock on İSKİ's door, and they never turn us down. For us, İSKİ is like a school, and whenever we want, definitely we get help from them. They do help us. We also, if we can help them, we try to help them as much as possible. Microphone, please. Yes, we are two separate organizations. Our duties and responsibilities are not the same, but with Kocaeli and with Tekirdağ as well, we do work together, act together, and we do our best to meet their water needs. So we do support one another, yes. And we're always open to these new ideas. And there's a line between us and Kocaeli that we use to support one another. Microphone, please. To minimize water use, compared to the other faucets, those are costlier, and someone is curious about that. These faucets, these taps, I mean, can you perhaps facilitate the use of these taps? Of course, these are smart taps, smart faucets, and if people can afford them, then that's fine. In terms of water savings, in terms of innovation in this area, in Bursa we had a cooperation with the National Ministry of National Education, and we installed smart meters in all of these schools. And sometimes the students do not turn off the tap. So we have this smart meter project that can be controlled from afar, and thanks to these meters we make sure that there is no leakage and there is no wastage at night. And if there's a problem, we can shut down the water supply. So in our public spaces we need to do a lot. We need to be much more sensitive in this realm, and like I said, we need to focus on schools also. In Bursa we've had this project and we have achieved great savings. And as for our citizens, in order to raise awareness with our citizens, yes, we give all these trainings and so on and so forth. We do go to all our schools to raise awareness in terms of water management, in terms of water savings. We hand out brochures and so on and so forth. So we organize all these events in order to reach out to our students, but we need to cascade it down all the way to the public. But this is an ongoing effort that we need to maintain, and we expect our members of our public to be sensitive about this. We need to cherish our water resources and not use water in an irresponsible manner. Since we were established, we've been using a cascaded tariff. So if people use more than they need, they will pay more for it. That's how we try to encourage water savings. Thank you. Now, İSKİ's SCADA system, what would you say about that? The SCADA system you said was old. And actually it is one of the very first to be established in Turkey, right? What would you say about it? When is it going to be renewed? We have renewed it actually. We are going to operationalize it soon. So the new one will be kicked off very soon. In a city like Istanbul, why can't we drink tap water? Why do we have to drink water in bottles? Well, we want to make sure that tap water is drinkable. In terms of quality, it's fine. It meets the necessary criteria in terms of bacteria. I mean, otherwise we cannot supply this water to the city. But people have this habit that cannot easily be broken. They do not even want to change the company of the water that they for drinking water that they buy. It has to do with the palate. I guess. I mean, I think people should get rid of getting drinking water and try our tap water. I think they'll really like it. About ISU, technological infrastructure and wastage, what are your projects in this regard? This is to ISU. There's another question. Let me also ask you that. Kocaeli, in Kocaeli, Kartepe, only 2 neighborhoods have sewage. Other neighborhoods do not have this. Are you going to work on this? Well, how to prevent wastage and Kartepe? 2 questions. Yes. Failures in networks. you need to use technology to fix these problems. Right now, we have 185 systems in ISO 100. Yeah, well, the hotline 185. We have district reps in our 12 districts, and every foreman has a tablet. So in case of something goes wrong, the foreman is notified, and they go and intervene. And if the failure has to do with the main network, then on SCADA, we can also see it. The valves can be shut off from the SCADA control room. All the storage units above 100 tons are connected to the SCADA, so we can manage them from one single screen. So all throughout Kocaeli, as soon as we get a notification, we fix the problem during the day. We never leave it to the next day. And also in Kocaeli, before 2014, there were some small towns, villages, but I mean, right now, every district is connected to the sewage system. We have 150 villages, and their collector lines are being installed. If we can't do that, we have a septic tank, and we bring the contents of the septic tank to the treatment plant. By 80%, I think the villages are connected to the sewage network. That Kartepe region, that's outlined by the member of the audience. In 2014, when Kocaeli became a metropolitan municipality, there were 10 or 11. Kartepe became a municipality that is composed of 11 districts. We have a sewage system in all of these areas. Right now in Kartepe, the sewage system is not existent in mountain villages. And hopefully, over time, we will complete those. Now, there is an English question, but there are many questions, and our time is in the minuses.
Create awareness. Do you have interactive real-time communication methods regarding wastage? Burada şunu soruyor, diyor ki
In order to raise awareness, what are the modern and creative methods that you employ? Do you have an interactive channel of communication to achieve this, to stop wastage? Do you interact with the public at large? Yes, we have a WhatsApp group. I mean, our mayor has two lines, and people send them messages on WhatsApp. You receive messages at 5 a.m. in the morning, so it's very much interactive. People can get hold of us, and my line is also open to all. So on WhatsApp, they get hold of us. This is good in terms of accessibility, but in terms of preventing waste, in Bursa, they had a zoning system. In the zoning system, there's a water. When there's a water leakage somewhere, or when there's an intentional water wastage, what would you do? Well, we have a dedicated team for that. When there's leakage, we look at the flow at night. If there's an increase, sudden increase, we do monitor that. We have a dedicated team, like I said, that we send. They go and make the necessary measurements. So we have a dedicated team for that. How about Bursa, sir? Well, like I said previously, from the SCADA center, on a daily basis, we do monitor water use, and if things go above the normal range, the system gives us a warning. And we do monitor water consumption at night. The SCADA center gives us information the next day, and an order is generated for the dedicated teams. So there's no longer the reliance on the human element. The computer tells us itself what needs to be done. The team is sent a notification if there's an irregular activity, a suspicious activity. So we use the SCADA center to address this issue. And we have hotlines, like I said. Our lines are also on 24/7, 185. We receive many calls during the day. We have 30 call center operators. So the lines of communication are open. And our dedicated teams on their tablets get notifications. Yes, thank you very much, everyone. We have come to the end of our session. Thank you very much for your attention. Some of your questions we haven't had the time to answer. We are already 6 minutes beyond our allocated time. I'd like to adjourn the session here. If you have further questions, please, if you have some burning questions, please get hold of our speakers right after the session. Our panelists will be hanging around, so please come and ask your questions then. Thank you very much indeed.
Teşekkür ediyoruz. Bu organizasyonu yapan Marmara Belediyeler Birliği'ne
Also, I would like to thank the Marmara Union of Municipalities. I would like to thank all the panelists for their participation, and we also like to thank you for your attention. Hopefully this has been fruitful. This has been a great opportunity. Hopefully these events will continue in the future. Thank you very much. Goodbye.